Well, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
How you doing? Well, hello. We have Blaine Cook here.
Blaine. So we have to, really we have to go back. So Srdjan, we've known him and Nada, like, on the periphery for many, many, many years. We've been like we're dog walkers. We've been like dog parent friends for many, many years.
Yes.
And just, I know that Rail and we've wanted to make kind of more of a love connection with these guys. And it's kind of, a couple of days ago, we kind of made it happen, and here we are.
Excellent. But besides that, can you tell us who did you in your past play with or sing for? Just a couple of bands,
So if you go
walking down the neighborhood, you see a sign, "The Accused." What does it mean to you? Or the Farts?
So back when I was a much younger fellow, I was in a band called the Farts here in Seattle. Here we are in Seattle in the basement. We have Hildy the cat here. I was in a band called the Farts for a while, and then after that, I was in a band called The Accused for a number of years. And after I was in The Accused, I was in a band called the Black Nasty. I sang for a band called Denial Fiend. If you ever check out that record, Horror Holocaust, that's a good one. And again with The Accused Accused AD, After Death, Toe Tag, and just been,
Awesome.
We've had we're about four cocktails in here in the evening. It's about 10 o'clock.
And the first card for cheers.
And that's what we're on a little 12-year Glenlivet right here.
Going back on the Accused days, early 80s, how did you ended up being a member of Accused and starting singing for him?
Well, one of the first shows that the Accused did was in November of 1982 in Portland with Poison Idea, the Farts, the Rejectors, and the Accused showed up, and they got on the bill, and I'd become friends with them. And then later on in the spring of 1984, it was actually at a GBH show.
Awesome.
Here in Seattle, and Dana Collins, who was the drummer, and Chewy Batterman, who was the bass player at the time, and he's since passed on. They asked me if I wanted to be in the Accused, because they were kind of moving towards a more heavier sound, and their singer John Darling was into that, and so that's how I joined the Accused back in 1984.
So thinking back on those early days of your punk and hardcore influences, what would you think, or what would you say to our friends here? What was the most influential bands? Like, how did you grow up listening to music that drove you into becoming what you are? Like, what kind of music influenced your life?
I'm very. There's a handful of bands that really influenced me. That would be Ron Reyes, and who was the second singer for Black Flag, Cal from Discharge, and Darby Crash from the Germs. Those are the three bands that I would say that influenced me the most. If I was to say that I had people that influenced me to be a singer.
Awesome. Just circling back to the Accused days, all my friends know about it. Martha Splatterhead.
Yes.
Tell me more about how you came up with that idea, and what was the positioning of the idea towards maybe you mentioned something about a Maximum Rock and Roll magazine accepting you guys as a newcomers to the hardcore scene, or just being the...
Yeah, I wrote the song Martha Splatterhead, which was on the Martha Splatterhead EP, and then she kind of grew into this character that was more of a, there was Eddie, from Iron Maiden, and there was a lot of these evil, horror-driven characters that were like killing people. That we thought it would be a good idea. I thought it would be a good idea to have this female that was out like an avenger, killing like rapists, child abusers, and other
bad characters
that were doing things bad against the world, and came up with the Martha Splatterhead character so that we could also remain in the good graces of the. So mind you, we started off at 5 o'clock this afternoon, it's about 11 tonight, so
right. Well, let me see.
Come on,
this is old school list of the questions that I want to ask and share with my friends. So next on my list is, what most prominent hardcore punk crossover bands have you shared the stage over the years?
Oh geez, we played with.
Let's start from like mid '80s, early '80s through.
We played with COC.
Corrosion of Conformity.
DRI.
Many times.
Many times over the years. With back probably when they had like more of the original lineup. Up until just maybe about 2 years ago was the last time we did DRI. Excel.
Discharge.
Crossover. Discharge, Bad Brains. I mean, you have to go back to other bands that with either the Farts or the Accused.
Farts and the Accused both.
Yeah.
Poison Idea,
Discharge,
Dead Kennedys,
Bad Brains, Dead Kennedys,
Suicidal
Tendencies, Toxic Reasons, 7 Seconds.
How about some European bands? When you toured the Europe, where you guys played?
Well, GBH over here in Europe, into Jesty, I think Negazione,
maybe Upset Noise, Jester Beast. And you guys at one time stayed at Creator's place in Germany when you were there.
Actually, we didn't stay with them. We played the place that we were playing was upstairs, and then downstairs was where they had the rehearsal spaces.
Okay, awesome.
And we smoked weed. They had made a bong out of like a broken like wine bottle or something. I think we smoked a little bit. We smoked a little bit of weed with at least a couple of the members. We never played with Voivod, though we had a connection with Voivod, back in those days.
Any favorite hardcore punk crossover European bands you can think of? From the British scene, maybe Leathers, Heresy.
We enjoyed, there was that whole that time frame of what they called, the network of friends, which was, Heresy and Concrete Socks.
Nice.
Maybe a Napalm Death maybe would have been in there. Sacrilege.
You played with Napalm Death many times?
In recent times, yes, we played with the Napalm Death, but back then, no. I would say that the Sacrilege UK, they were a huge influence on some of the songs of the Accused.
Fantastic. And if you think back on your like early '80s, mid '80s, what would you consider, in your personal opinion to yourself, if you can name 5 most influential hardcore punk crossover albums of all time for yourself, or any music for that matter? I just need 5
records.
5 records that you like the most, that you think were the most influential in the culture.
Well, for me, it would be the Germs, GI. One of those Bad Brains ones. I can't really actually particularly say which one of the Bad Brains ones. Discharge, Hear Nothing, Say Nothing.
Yeah, the best album of all time, yeah.
Is that 3? geez, that's tough. That's like when people ask you what your favorite food is or what your favorite cocktail. Poison Idea, the record collections and Sasa's. That's a pretty predominant one. Black Flag, I'd have to say, I'd say the Nervous Breakdown 7-inch, but perhaps the Jealous Again 12-inch is pretty fucking hard.
Awesome.
Four.
Yeah, great. Well, 4 is good.
Yeah.
Don't mention The Accused.
Well, I can't mention anything that I've done because that's
Well, More Fun Than an Open Casket Funeral is the best title for the album ever. I can give you that. Whoever came up with it, it's amazing. And maybe you can tell us something about it. Like, how did you come up with that cool title for the album?
So, a lot of it, it's not like plagiarism, but a lot of people have other good ideas. So the title More Fun Than an Open Casket Funeral came from Todd Thermo Ferkenstad, and I did give you a copy of the Black Nasty double LP.
Right, yes.
He was the guitar player for that, and he was in a band called Blown to Bits, and we did a show at a place here in Seattle. It was a church in the Ballard neighborhood, and he was in a band called Blown to Bits, and he made a flyer, and the flyer said more fun than an open casket funeral, and so we kind of stole that, and we named that LP on Combat Records, More Fun Than an Open Casket Funeral.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Great story.
Yeah.
Let's just circle back to today. What are you guys playing in? I heard recently you might visit some Mexico sites, South America. Any plans to visit Europe? Tell us about your future upcoming gigs.
We are doing 4 shows. We're leaving actually next week. Whenever anybody's looking at this, we're doing 4 shows in Mexico. Then we're playing Sao Paulo, Brazil, Santiago, Chile.
Maybe with Alco Seco in Brazil. You don't know who you're playing in Sao Paulo.
I should pay attention.
If anybody knows any Chilean hardcore bands, bring it on. But Accused gonna be there.
Yeah. In Bogota,
Colombia too.
Bogota, Colombia. The guy's he's a little concerned about the show in Bogota. He hasn't sold a lot of tickets, but we're doing that. We played Japan a couple of years ago, and if we get an offer to go and play in Europe, we'll
Serbia maybe, if we can have some friends from
Serbia. We just need to go over there. Cover our air flights, give us a hotel, drive us from the airport, provide a back line. We'll do it.
Fantastic. Well, that's all I had for now for you guys, and we'll just keep on drinking. Cheers, brother. You guys enjoy. I hope you enjoy this short questions and answers session. Q&A session with the Accused, and we'll cover with some music later.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Bye, guys.